Peace to the nigga nation. Ah, I hope this afternoon finds you all well. I decided to come on and just see what the I overuse this word. See what the YouTube algorithm got for me this afternoon. Um, Not really doing much, you know. Still on the medical leave from work. You know, I guess I'm still. I don't know. No, I don't know. I came on here to see what was going on here. See if somebody, like how when folks, other people who which I'm subscribed to, they might go live, and then folks come on and type all types of random bullshit about shit that's unrelated to shit and whatever, what have you. But I was thinking about political shit just before I got on here. But then I said, well, maybe I get on here talking about this political shit. Y'all ain't gonna follow. Um, but really, it's just basically a question. We have, well, I shouldn't say we, I can't speak for everybody. I can speak for some people in which I observe they have certain political party allegiances. It's something that just really, I can't help but involuntarily chuckle at this stage in my life when somebody say that a black person. So I'm a proud Democrat. So it's like, I'm amused because instantly I want to ask, what exactly makes you proud to be a Democrat? Why would why would your political party affiliation make you feel proud considering the state of your society in which you live at this point because of your political affiliation or that party or whomever in which you dedicated your loyalty and your allegiance to as a black person. If they was doing so much for you, then you would be able to have some type of tangible um, structure or system or benefit to your particular population that you'd be able to point out that was responsible, that was only made possible due to the fact that your political party took responsibility to cater to your individual group's needs as a proud supporter of their party. But I mean, I just ask, hell, it's an election season, politics should be important to American citizens, That's spoils of war. Yet still, we are still the spoils of war because at this point, we may the documentation may have alleviated the title of slave, unless by due of punishment. That's punishment for a felony or whatever. Since that paperwork had done away with the practice of slavery against the African American, the black, the Negro, the nigger folk, it still didn't necessarily mean that the figurative, I guess an intangible form of slavery, uh, slavery by way of economic deprivation, um, judicial influence. You don't necessarily laws are made uh, in spite of you. They're not made in regards to so much and so forth for your protection. They're made in spite of you. And but these laws are made by your party. So oftentimes are made by your party, and they'll figure out some way to cajole you into supporting them by using tactics of fear or a desperation or to in provoke evoke feelings of fearful desperation within you. I don't know, man. It seems as if, in my mind, and I don't want to be that one trick pony talking about the political parties, because at the end of the day, it's all about what that particular uh, social, well, population group, part of that population group does for themselves. If you're not able to point out your industries and and your accomplishments that you've made in certain areas of industry as a group, not necessarily as an individual. We can't just pick one or two spots that we can sprinkle down in the milk. Uh, we have to be able to say that, okay, well, all right, well, if it gets to a point where it gets here, then we can count on these farms to provide food. If it gets to a point where it gets here, this particular swaths of land can be occupied by people who will be considered fugitives or hey, I don't know what now you can't say we're current like I said we're currently prisoners of war. Uh, it's a spiritual war. It's like an open air type of imprisonment. You can walk around freely, but there's also certain things that if you don't accomplish in your role as a prisoner, your prison stay will become more uncomfortable. That means you have to go to that white man's job, and there's nothing wrong. You got to be thankful that Master made a way for you to get your bread and butter. I don't know, man. I come on here. I said to one lady, she has an Instagram page. I guess she about like late 30s. And she makes some, and it's not like overtly just risque like on some Cardi B, Megan and Stallion, showing ass or nothing like that. But she has a seductive way of speaking. And then she's also shapely. So she makes contests, and she said she made the point today that seems every time that she may do a video where she shows her body, and her body's covered, she gets some form of violation or strike against from Instagram, and it affects her monetization. Uh, I also heard that Isaac Hayes III has a social media site called Fanbase. I mean, it's been around for a while, of my understanding, but it's called Fanbase. And we talk about, because I mean, there's no question in my mind that I witnessed. I've been a target, or I guess I hate they say the niggas are always holiday victims. I've been a victim of I would think discriminatory treatment on these social media apps because I talk about nigga shit. I would scour the Googles and other, just not even necessarily need before Google. I was learning shit, so Google just made it okay. Well, I remember I learned this a long time ago. I remember these key terms about what I learned years ago. All I gotta do is type that into Google, and it's gonna pull me to where I need to go because it's supposed to be an information engine. So like they say, and they come out with the news stories all casually. Well, they may have your into their Google history. They got your DMs or whatever. Such and such sold your DMs to uh evidently I think that was Facebook or Meta or whomever. They sold folks DMs to somebody, and so they were no, so they were able to somehow cater whatever their content to Netflix. The personal messages were sold to Netflix, and Netflix was going to be able to utilize that information that they got from those DMs. I'm an arm issue. Utilize that information they got from the DMs and cater content to you. I guess make whatever little films and cartoons. I guess that's where they were able to get the idea to come out with the Good Times cartoon by scouring folks' emails and PMs or whatever, personal message, DMs, direct messengers. YouTube, fuck YouTube. I have to say it consistently and frequently because billions of people on here and nobody comes by. They'll give you the green. I go into my creative studio. My creative studio say, this is the time when your users is online. And then it's not even necessarily the fact that it's got to be people that subscribe to me. I come across people's videos all the time that I'm not subscribed to. I don't know whether, I guess a lot of time, I guess they don't really have a live feed. YouTube doesn't necessarily have a live feed where people go just scroll down whoever might be live at a particular time. Politics and black people. I mean, people try to say that, conservative and liberal as definitive word, definite defined words, they're no worse or better than, each other, or, they're not necessarily bad words in any context of their definitions. It's all about, in the ways and the forms of that people identify themselves as being conservative or being liberal, and they also mix in their own personal opinions and ideas and beliefs along with that um, concept. And then it's not really, I guess you could say, something that should be associated with politics in itself. It's also a way of just being. You could be a liberalized person. You can be a conservative person. That's why it's been traditionally said that black folks were, well, not traditionally said, it's been general knowledge that black people were traditionally conservative, especially the African, um, the Americans who were once our ancestors, the descendants. I need to word this the right way. I don't want to infringe on anyone's copyright, but those people who were once enslaved in this country. Um, they were identified as niggers, and not necessarily in a derogatory way. It's just the fact that those Europeans weren't able to say the divine term, the endure. I can barely say it myself. Endure. That's another story altogether. I just came on here to talk, man. Um, I don't know. Maybe like I said, maybe sometime, maybe I just got to do a tap dance. I try to avoid the stutters. I'm working on my best to minimize the uhs and ums of whatever. I keep the conversational flow consistent. This shit garbage. And I don't see it. And then they have you underneath their whip. Because I guess I started talking about how the girl say every time she posts her bodies. Now she funny as a motherfucker. She got good content. And I'm saying and I said, the AI. She said it seems like the AI that made her. No, she said that made her. No, let me get it right. She said that made her is anti-black woman. Because she show her body, they want to give her violations. When I told her, I said AI is anti-black woman, anti-black men, anti-black people. Period. And then I went on to say, I don't even want to speak on how Mater does. Mater does the nigga. Uh, but all this is tied in together in my eyes, because you have these apps in Google Play, and Google Play, it gets a lot of use from people that have Facebook apps, Instagram apps, YouTube apps. You can't get no Google ads without being associated with Google, and Google knows everything that you've done in the name of searching the internet, even all that freaky porn you might have looked for. Maybe that's just an excuse on my part. Hey, who's to say? Maybe nobody just don't nobody want to hear your old ass nigga. That may be it. And hey, if someone comes on and consistently tells me that enough, then maybe that'll just be the case. But at this point, seemingly, um, who's ever over the airwaves, they're not getting to the point where don't hardly nobody come here. Don't nobody come here even look, let alone come here to comment on anything. Say some wayward, dumb internet person, commenter, uh, uh, comment robot, uh, chat line or something. Because like I said, this shit is all rigged. All you have to do is examine the ones who have the larger platforms, and have the most lucrative um, channels. Peace and love, nigga nation or nothing. I'll let y'all niggas go around. I thank you very much for entertaining me with your time. Uh, don't be afraid to comment on what you might have stuck around and listened and heard. I ain't no like, share, subscribe, motherfucker, man. You know if y'all like what y'all saw, y'all know what to do. Peace and love.